And we're back. Guavapod. And we are chatting with Jess. Coach Jess.
Hola.
And we're just talking a little through the week and some new things that have happened in Coach Jess's life and all of our lives, really, you know? So, what's up?
Oh, you know.
Coach Sarah's here.
What's up?
Am I screaming? I don't know.
No, you're not.
Okay,
You're
good. Okay, perfect.
Just talk normal.
Yeah, we're good. So, Coach Jess got some news for us?
I am with child.
Yeah! Wait, do I have a button for that?
Don't hit that one.
What did that do?
I think it's
Is it this one?
no.
Oh, I
I'm
don't
not
know.
hearing any of those.
Oh,
sound
here we go. Here,
effects.
look. Now do it. Which button is it?
I think
Come
it's
on.
the yellow one.
Oh, that's blue.
No, you don't. There's the.
We're just hitting all the buttons. We're hitting all the buttons. Did anything work? Is it still
I think
clapping?
it's
still going.
The clapping
Okay, you
one.
gotta turn it off.
Okay.
Oh.
We're gonna edit that out. No worries. We
No,
probably
this is the
won't.
uncut.
This is uncut.
This is
you know.
uncut.
So, Jess is pregnant.
Yo.
Woo! What's it been like?
Oh, fuck.
You know. So for all those pregnant ladies out there trying to work out and CrossFit and stay active, how far along are you?
14 weeks today.
14 weeks. So still early on. What's your advice? What's your thoughts?
Don't do the open.
Don't do the open.
I mean, do it, but like it was the worst open I've ever felt in my entire. I've never wanted to throw up during burpees so bad in my existence, and I love burpees. But yeah, it like the hardest part I think was like maneuvering it without people knowing, and like people being like, "Why do you look like a zombie?" And I'm like, "I'm just tired," and I'm like, "Oh, I'm growing a spleen, leave me alone." And there was like a constant battle with that.
Right.
But yeah, it was definitely the first trimester. Like I was warned, like, hey, weeks 9 through 11 are going to be just a hot garbage chute of mess. Just deal with it. Because I asked KL about it, and she was dead on. And that was
Right.
like 1, 2, 3 weeks of the open. I'm like, I'll be fine. I was not fine.
So does that mean we're not doing quarters?
I'm going to see what they are. Because like if there's barbell snatches, that makes me nervous.
Right.
I'm guessing there won't be muscle ups. That was a pain in the ass to try to avoid the bar when I was doing those. I think anything else I think I'd be fine with.
What'd you think about Annie? Did you see the video of Annie doing the open?
I liked her little setup
Yeah,
she
that
had
she
of
had a
the,
little
the
cutout
hole in the
to
floor.
do the burpees
Yeah.
and
Like,
stuff.
that's genius.
Man,
Yeah, that was
some
cool.
of these women are diehards.
Insane.
You know, maybe just don't do it and take a rest.
Yeah, just
But
take
who
a
knows?
year off. You know.
You got
I
it.
don't know.
I mean, I figured if I didn't do it, people would be like, why isn't just doing the open? Like, okay, I was like, just say your back hurts. I'm like, everyone knows I've done all sorts of dumb shit.
Right.
Hurt, injured, whatever, and so that wouldn't work. But
How is it? Do you feel like it's affecting anything else other than your fitness? Just like your coaching or your nutrition or anything like that, or you feel
well-
like it's all relative?
coaching usually distracts me. So, and now that people know, like, I can be more myself with it. I didn't realize how hard eating would be. Like all the things I usually love, I like hate. Like
Right.
make me want to vomit
And
everywhere.
you're a nutritionist, right?
Which is very
So-
bizarre. Like vegetables make me want to cry and vomit, and I'm like, "Nah, don't do that.
But
Yeah.
you're like bagels and ice cream. Is that something weird like that?
bagels are all I want to
Bagels?
eat. Bagels are all I want to eat.
Me too, but I'm not pregnant.
Yeah. No excuse over here.
Yeah. So I mean, it's getting a little bit better now. Like I ate chicken and I didn't gag the other day, which was because Eddie would put. I'm like. Even like thinking about it right now, like,
Right.
but I was like, I can do this, and I like meat has been really hard, which is bizarre because I'm like, give me meat. So I can usually look at one of my rebuild meals and be like, nope, or like yes,
Right.
like just by looking at it and how I feel inside. But yeah, food
Not
has
sponsored
been
by Rebuilt, by the way.
food has been tough, and sleep has been shit.
Sleep's
So-
been tough. That makes sense.
Which those two things then affect how I feel in the gym, and it's just like a circle of interesting feelings.
I guess one of the questions that I have, because I know Kale like struggled with it in the beginning, was like trying to feel like her old self and kind of coming to this like realization, like, okay, that's not me anymore. Maybe it could be down the road, but like, are you having not trouble, but like, is that something that's like you might be struggling with, like for other women out there that maybe be pregnant that were not even a high level athlete, just like going to the gym consistently and doing things consistently, and now they feel like, ugh, I'll never be able to get back there? Is that something that
Yeah, I don't think I'm quite at that. Like, I'll never be fit again, but I definitely have noticed a difference of just how I feel. Like, I sometimes, like, especially in that first, like, weeks, like, 6 through 10, I just felt like like I was in someone else's body.
Right.
Like, my heart rate would spike so high to the point where I'd be like, I have to slow down for a second. Where it's like, me, I want to go. And my body's like, chill the fuck out. Like, your heart rate's at 1,000. You need to count it. So, like, that part was hard to adjust to, because, like, usually I can go through workouts and, like, my heart rate is always very under control and I never feel out of control. But, like, now it's
What's
like...
that like? This side of the table doesn't understand that.
I do, like, the warm-up run and I'm like, I gotta sit down. So, and there's some days I feel great. Like, some days I'm like, which it took a while to get here. Like, that one day we were lifting in class and doing, like, the cleans and stuff. I'm like, I feel so strong. So I'm like, hopefully I'm out of that first trimester hell and now I'm gonna get into, like, that strong as fuck era. But yeah, there's some days, and it's harder for me to, like, be motivated to, like, come here. You know, I get here sometimes I'm like, I could just take a nap. So it's like a very weird balance, and some days I feel great, some days I'm like, but I know once I do this stuff I'll feel better, and I want to do this stuff even though if my brain isn't saying it. So.
Yeah, it's kind of like a good thing that, like, it's something that, like, you almost, because you coach, you're like, okay, I have to go.
Yeah.
And then that's like, maybe now I have to work out, and you always feel better.
Once you're in the building.
After you work
that
out
definitely is
or
an
move,
advantage having to be here.
But I know it can be tough for people that, like, they just go to the gym, they don't actually work or coach at a gym, so then they just, like, cut it out altogether, and then you know, that's hard to do in general for anybody, not even just pregnant women, but just like anybody who's in a rut or, you know, kind of going through stuff. But anything else about it? Feel good about it?
Yeah, I mean, I think.
Do you guys know what it is? What it is yet? Oh,
I might have accidentally found out and then ugly cried.
You ugly cried. Oh, I'll let
doesn't give anything away.
And I called Eddie. I was like, I accidentally might have found out. Do you want to know? And he's like,
do you want to know, Eddie? Do you guys know?
Yes. I have an idea of how we're going to tell everybody. So.
Well,
big gender reveal.
Either way, we're happy, but we're also more happy for boys. Just kidding.
I don't know.
But am I? There's a lot of boys in the gym.
I know.
I mean, we got. I think Flo's like the solo dolo girl. So, how do you think it'll be once you have
said child?
Yeah, said child.
Human.
Do you feel like? I mean, obviously, it's going to be adjustment period, but, like, do you feel like you're going to try and just, like, jump right back in, or do you feel like you're going to take your time to try and work your way in to your fitness?
I feel like I have the delusion that I'm going to jump right back in, like, thinking about grid and being like, I'm going to be able to go to Vegas the next week after I give birth, and then go to playoffs the next month. Like, I'm like, what, realistically, can I do this? So, in my head, I'm going to do things right away.
Right.
Adult me is probably like, bitch, you gotta come down a little bit.
Yeah.
But knowing also me, if I don't move, I get very up. For his safety, I need to do something. So.
True.
Yeah. And I already told him, I was like, that's why he's coming out. Like, you need to get to the gym earlier so I can be, like, here, and I can go fitness and get my brain right. And, so.
What's it been like having Eddie up in the gym?
It's been great.
Been here so many times in the past week.
Where's Jerry?
Who?
Yeah. Come on,
Just
Jerry.
kidding. He's gonna kill me.
Get to the gym.
Get to the gym. He's got that brand new tat. He's got a baby.
Another one?
No.
No, just got the whole leg sleeve.
Yep, just the whole leg sleeve.
Good segue into the week.
Let's talk about it.
How did it go? Do we remember the workouts?
Let's see. Monday.
Everybody did most of them, right? On Monday?
Yeah, most of them.
Monday
was the toes 5-3-1 toes to bar front squats.
Oh yeah, 12 minutes.
What was it? Yeah, I think it was 12
minutes.
Oh yeah.
5 toes to bar, 3 front squats, ascending ladder of cleaning jerks at
cleaning jerks. That's right.
135.95.
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna kill that. I was like, oh, this is my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
And
I like it when the numbers are tiny.
Right. And then
it's not what she said.
I did okay, right? But not great. I got 9 plus 1 toe to bar. But some of these people killed it. What'd you get?
I was 7 cleans into the 10, like to finish 10.
So she beat me.
Yeah. You beat me, but I also did it after red line and was just like
Not
zombieing around. I got 8 I was in the ninth round, I think, or just finished 8 or something like that.
Yeah,
It
that's
was,
still
like,
solid,
sneaky.
especially after a red line walk.
Right.
Kale got 10 plus.
Yeah.
And then I think
That
there was
makes
another 10 pluser. It was the cleans for me where it was just like when you got into that like abyss of 7.
Yeah.
Where you're just like, oh, you just want to sit there for like 5 seconds, and then you're like, wait, it's been 30, you know. So, but yeah, that was a good one. Tuesday interval.
Your fault.
Literally crushed me. We can blame that on Coach Sarah because last
So
week
good.
she
Your
said,
fault.
let's end on the rower.
And it was amazing. I loved it. I loved every second.
Yeah, she
Yep.
loved it. Man.
It was funner than I thought it was going to be, but I also kind of like.
I watch people's souls leave their body.
Yeah, and I was waiting
Like,
for it too
yeah.
because I'm like, too soon, Junior.
Yeah.
Like, don't do that. And I got like faster in the last 2 rounds, and
Yeah, my class, I was just watching people get, like, we went in 2 groups, and I was watching people get back to the rower, and I'm, like, looking at the clock, and they've got 2.5,
Yeah.
like, they
Yeah.
maybe overscaled
Right.
the, like, kind of the buy-in part up to the AMRAP, and they're getting back to the rower. They got 2.5 minutes, and I'm like, have a great time on that rower, because
Yeah.
you're
It
going
was
to get
so
40
long.
calories,
Yeah.
and then you're going to die immediately. So I think, like, that nice sweet spot was, like, 90-ish seconds, maybe, like, you're getting on it, like, a minute 45.
Yeah.
And then you can really like push it, and get a good amount in that time, but you're not like,
Yeah,
kinda sold.
I watched Pete do it, and with like in your group.
You posted him on Instagram, and he just looks like a complete zombie.
Yeah,
Like, he's
he
like,
first round, I think he got almost 50 cows.
oh my
was
god.
like, no.
And he came out,
do it,
out of the
no.
box hot.
Yeah.
He's like round 3 and 4. I felt so good.
Yeah. Mhm.
And I look over. I was like,
He had those crazy eyes, those
Yeah.
Pete crazy
Yep.
eyes, where he's like on the rower. But it was good, yeah. So for the 3 listeners we have, the workout was 4 sets of 4 on, 4 off. It was a 25-meter double front rack walking lunge.
Yep.
Then you did 4, right?
Double dumbbell
Double
snatches.
dumbbell snatches. 6
burpee
bar muscle ups or burpee pull ups or whatever,
Chest bar, whatever you want.
chest to barbell, whatever modification you have, and then you went back up. So then you did the dumbbell snatches, you lunged out, and then you ended on the rower with whatever remaining time you have left. Everybody read it and was like, "You're not going to have any time to do the row."
It went by so fast.
And you actually had too much time to do the row. You got there
Could
and
have
like
been 3 minutes.
yeah. You had like 2-ish minutes the first round, more. Some people had more, and then you get on that rower and you're just like, oh
and I
no.
kept looking at the clock. I'm like, how is it still?
It
Oh
just
my
starts
god!
clicking away. It's very
Yeah, and the clock
slowly.
was like directly behind my head, and
Yeah.
I was like,
Same.
can I?
Like, why?
At the last round, I was doing it, and I literally just sat in front of the rower, and I was like, I don't want to get on there. And then I died. I only got like 90 total cows on the whole workout.
I got like 110, I think. I was
Yeah.
like right under 30 every round.
Pete got like 150 something, I think.
crazy.
And then Andreas got like 138. You guys were up there in the hundreds, right?
131.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, man, I shit the bed on that. 90 something.
Lame.
Those muscle ups were crushing my
Yeah, I didn't
soul.
do
Anyway, Wednesday. What did we do Wednesday?
Wednesday. That complex, the clean complex.
Yes, and then the running and the.
That was a fun
that was
one.
like
fun.
that one, yeah.
I did enjoy that one, and there was running in it, and I can,
Yeah. I did red line, and then I sat on the ground, and then Darren was like, "You gonna do this workout?" And I was like,
And then she beat me.
and then I did, and I smoked him by a minute.
Yeah,
and a
I
half or
got.
something.
But it was a cool workout. The way it was set
fun.
up, it was
3 rounds.
3 rounds. It was a 300-meter run, and then it was 5 hang cleans, 200-meter run, 5 hang cleans, 100-meter run, 5 hang cleans, and then 1 minute of rest.
1 minute in between the rounds.
So you could like
What was the
push
guy
it a
weight?
little bit.
What was the guy weight?
185.
125 was like the prescribed load. So heavy, it should have been heavy, not overwhelming kind of weight, like, which can be weird for newer people to kind of figure out because they look at that 185, 125 hang clean and they're like, what the fuck?
Right,
That's
but they
crazy.
go too light, and then it's like it's not even
And
there.
then you
Yeah.
try it, and like you just gotta find. And we did a nice little primer before that. I thought a strength piece that warmed up your pull, didn't kill your pull, but also kind of maybe gave you a good gauge on like maybe where you'd be out in the workout. Some surprising people like Ben.
Did-
185.
Yeah, 185
Killed
and
it.
was right behind me. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, dang, Ben, I didn't know you had a hang clean like that.
So did Amos.
Yeah.
I was
Hey, yeah.
doing 125. These are gonna be singles, and I'm
Yeah.
watching it. I was like, bitch, what the
I was
you
like,
just did
well,
5 and it looked great. What are you talking
Singles
about?
would be clean.
yeah.
Those are power clean, so
Yeah.
hopefully we don't do that. But yeah, she did kill it. I remember before the workout, she's like, I got some aggression to get out. Classic fucking Danielle thing to say. But I really think the whole workout was the 300-meter run.
Oh, it was.
it was, yeah.
Fuck.
And people were coming out, like,
Yeah.
I was in the middle of the pack, like, on that first 300-meter run. Like, we had a decent-sized class. I was probably, like, 8th back or whatever. And by the second 300-meter run, I was behind only Peter. And then by the third 300-meter run, I was like,
Where you at?
anyone?
Where
Is
you at,
anyone still
Peter?
here?
Yeah,
He got
I-
confused halfway through.
Of
So, like,
course.
I
Classic.
beat him just by
I feel
doing
like
it
that's a
correctly,
classic
but
Peter. Get
he
confused.
he came in and he just didn't do any cleans. And he started on his like rest, and then he had to go back do the cleans, and he
Oh,
actually took the full
no.
minute. Yeah, so that's how I lost him. But everybody else was just.
I made
Dragon.
the mistake of doing the first run with Christine,
Mm.
who was a great runner. I was like, I want to see what this pace is like, and she was chilling. And I was like, oh my God, this is so fast. Why are we running so fast? And we came in and she just hit her cleans, went back outside and ran. And I redlined like immediately 2 minutes into the workout and was fighting just to stay moving. And I was
Yeah.
like, that was so dumb. Why did I do that? But, I wanted to be a runner for 2 seconds.
I did put on my running shoes because I was like, okay, these Nike Metcons are like
Yeah.
so heavy in the back, and then I went to do like the first hang clean, and I was like,
squish.
this is weird.
Yeah.
But I was like, it was definitely the right move.
But it was a running piece.
Yeah.
So, and then you're so good at that weight and hang cleaning that. So it was
right,
like.
I had to like, I definitely had to adjust, but I was like on the outside of my shoes, which was kind of strange.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That was a
First
good
set
one.
of 5.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, you and B Mac were like.
Yeah, I'm
neck
glad
and
she was
neck.
there because I'm like, if she wasn't there, I would have just dogged it.
She said the same thing,
Yeah.
so that's why you go to class, people.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah,
give a
it
little
was
bit of
perfect.
push for each other. But yeah, she said the same thing. She was like, if Jess wasn't there, I would have just coasted. But yeah, they were like literally neck
was
and neck
great.
the
I love
whole
that.
time.
That's what me and Ben did at 6:30.
Like, we're running. She's like, doesn't it suck doing this pregnant? I was like, yes. Oh, my God.
Yeah, that's the cool thing about it too, though. You have so many people to talk to who just had babies or maybe are a little farther along. Like you can talk to people at different stages. Women, like Brittany has a 2-year-old.
Yeah, something like that.
2-year-old, and then Kale, obviously, we just had Dev a year ago, and there's a few people that had babies a year ago, and then Anna's got one that's
Year and a half.
yeah, year and a half. So
We're
there's a
just
lot of like
populating.
stages where you can be like, "What's it like?" Kind of thing, which is super cool. Another reason to come to the gym, meet some friends.
Friends.
Thursday,
Thursday
partner
was that
wad.
partner wad. Yeah.
I liked it. I don't think Eddie liked
Eddie,
it.
how did you like the partner wad?
It was nice and chill.
I thought that weight was a little aggressive. Thinking
Well,
back,
it was tough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I ended up doing like 175 because you were like, no one has done that. And
Yeah,
I was like,
I
okay,
did.
well,
I
I'm
had
not
to
doing
it.
it.
I
You-
did
if-
275.
If I did it, you should have
Oh, you
done
did
it.
215?
Yes.
Sorry, he talked me out of it. I
well,
did 175.
She came in after you, I thought.
No, she was right before me.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay. It was actually perfect. I
What
was
the
like,
hell? The
Yeah,
only
it was-
time
I'd
I'll
gone
ever do
pretty.
more
I'd
deadlift
gone
weight
pretty
than that.
hard leading up to that Thursday one.
Man, that was a heavy. It was heavy. So, does anyone remember the wad? Can you talk through it?
So it was it was 50 seesaw push-ups. So 1 for 1, right? 40 deadlifts at the prescribed weight was 315, 215.
Which, when it was, my thought was, it's heavy, but maybe it's not overwhelming.
It was movable.
right.
It was
I
overwhelming.
could probably. What'd you do set wise?
6s, 7s.
Yeah.
I thought 5.
Yeah, like
I was
five.
like,
I would have gone 5s
Touch
either
and go
way.
5s was the thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then 30 pull-ups, and then 20 wall walk, burpee, box jump over and backs. So
Yeah, think about that.
yeah. So you wall walked up, you wall walked down, you popped out of the bottom of essentially that burpee, jumped over a box, jumped back to the starting line, and then got back into the wall walk and wall walked up and wall walked back.
It like had a nice rhythm to
Yeah.
it.
I had to move the box so I could
yeah.
get out of it and then
And
go-
directly
yeah.
into-
But
the jump,
it
yeah.
was, they were hard for me.
Me and my partner ended up doing like 1 for 1.
Yeah, I
And
think
so
that's what a lot of people did,
Yeah.
but I ended
you
up.
made him do sets, didn't you?
We started 2 for 2, and then like he's like, mm-mm. So then by the last couple rounds, like he did 1, I did 3. He did
Nice.
1, I did 3.
But,
He
like,
did. That was perfect.
This is the kind of partner I like.
I did it with Don, and we had a team of 3, so we had a shadow. But I did it with Amos and Don, and we were doing 1-for-1, and it was way harder because I'd get
You got
done.
like no rest.
There's
And
not
then
much rest,
Danielle's
yeah.
pretty much like jumping back over the box before I'm even like on the ground yet, because it was such an easy movement for her. And I'm like, slow down. What are you doing? So we ended up doing 2s at the end, and it was just enough to like, okay, I can do 2 in a row and get like 10 seconds to
Yeah.
breathe, and then do
Yeah.
2 in a row. And it was I'm not saying it was like crazy easier, but it was definitely, for me, it was a little bit easier just to catch my breath for a split
Yeah,
second.
I definitely think people underestimated it. I saw a lot of people
Right.
kind of cap that WOD. It had a
Yeah.
36-minute
Yeah, it was
cap.
3 rounds of that,
3
by
rounds
the
of
way.
that.
So
By the
you're
way.
rolling through it 3 times. It was a good one.
So 12, you had to be under a 12-minute round,
Right.
and there were definitely people that were like still working at the cap. So
And I think in my mind, like when I wrote it, it was a 10-minute round. I'm like,
Right. So you were being generous.
if you have 2 people that are decent at wall walking and they can move the deadlift bar,
Yeah, I
it's a
could see that.
10-minute round or even under. But it's like, can you hold the time? Like
Right.
we did
Yeah.
a 9-minute round, and then we did like an 11-minute round,
Right.
and then I think we got back to like a 10-minute. But if your wheels fall off and your partner doesn't care about you and just buries you, like that can get real dirty real
Right.
quick.
Don't look at me.
Because, like I said, like for me, it was like Danielle was burying me
Right.
on the wall. My walk was taking 20
and then
seconds.
she's getting double the rest.
Right,
So
she's
she's
more
not
rest.
amazing.
She's like charging up,
Yeah,
and
she's
then she's
like,
like, I want to go
yeah.
faster. And I was like, man, this sucks. But like, that's why it's important to know your partner and
Yep.
have a good partner and scale appropriately and all that stuff. Like
Exactly.
that's why
Like
I brought
did
the
it
weight
with
down.
I did it with Alyssa, and she was doing like inchworm box step overs.
Great mod.
Great mod, but it was like it was like almost a perfect time domain, like
Right.
1-for-1. And
Between
yeah.
you doing the full rep
Yeah.
and then her doing the modded rep. Yeah, I mean,
Right.
that's what it's about. But
So-
that's like, and I think that's one thing when it comes to like us as coaches, and like with especially we have a lot of newer people, is like these movements are so new to them, like they don't know. Like I have a few members at 8:30 who they don't really understand yet, so they read the WOD. They're like, "Oh, put 315 on the bar," and I'm like, "Yo, no, chill. That's not what we're trying to do here. We're just trying." And then that's why it's important for us to talk through stimuluses
Right.
and all that kind of stuff.
Well, that
'cause-
one, like, we'd definitely written up like a Here to Sweat,
Right.
where it had that very specific modification, because a lot of people get
Yeah.
when like a movement like that comes up and it's not like one of your like standard, they're like, what do I do? What do I do?
Right.
Yeah.
I know
So.
Coach Seb had him do 430. Sorry, 430. He had him do a box jump, and then wall walk, and then box jump out. That was the rep.
Oh,
for
like
for
backwards.
that. Yeah, he like kind of like
Oh.
split up the box jumps.
Oh, that's kind of like a cool though. Like
Yeah, like if you're going,
Swap.
if you're
Yeah.
doing it 1-for-1, I mean, it kind of
That-
makes
it
sense.
makes sense, yeah.
But that double box jump back in,
Yeah.
every time the second box jump was really what I was like, "Ugh, fuck
Well,
this.
I was on a soft box, and I don't use a soft box a lot, so like
Yeah, those are.
I
Those
was
suck.
almost every time I was like, am I going to make
Yeah,
it, or is
they-
this entire
it's
box?
like a-
I feel like my
gonna-
foot kept getting stuck.
Yeah.
I'm like, am
Like
I
a
uncoordinated already? Like,
Bocey
oh
ball.
shit. He's like, this is what they're
I
talking
did
about.
see that, like when I walked in, you were doing those deadlifts, and you just had that scowl on your face of like, oh,
It's like, I don't
fuck
fucking
this.
do this right.
But yeah, I thought it was a fun workout.
No, it was super fun.
But it was definitely challenging. I thought, like you said, I think it took a lot of people by surprise. And then Fridays, we hit the ropes. I
was it?
didn't hit the ropes.
I was
did.
not here. I went to Eye Smash.
Ooh, what's that?
It's
Eye smash?
yeah, no,
Or
like
ice?
like eye, like
Like you
an
break-
apple.
you're
Oh,
breaking
iPhone Eye
things?
Smash.
Yes.
Okay.
So it
Ooh.
is a smash room. It's in Brandon, down on Bloomingdale, and it was super fun. We went with a work group, and I feel like I got a great workout in.
Yeah, I got some aggression out.
So yeah, so you put on this like full painter's jumpsuit. I have a picture. I'll show it. You can. I'll text you so you can.
It's
post
right here.
It,
No.
So you can post it with the
As the
pod.
thumbnail?
Yeah, and so you get in this like full jumpsuit, and they give you like baseball bats and sledgehammers and like crowbars, and then you walk in. There's like tons of these like huge like Tupperware bins of just glassware that looks like they just went to a thrift store and just bought all this
And
glassware.
just get to break it.
And then we had 4 car windshields,
Ooh.
and then a whole tub of like electronics, like keyboards.
What a fun
Yeah.
coach's
That's
outing that would
cool.
be.
Yeah. So that's what I was thinking. They also have like
People don't
paint
listen.
splatter rooms.
They don't scale right.
Yeah. And so they were doing like skeet shooting where like we'd throw a plate and we'd try to like hit it with the. That was fun.
And you just have like an allotted amount of time
And
you're
you
in
just
there.
have 50 minutes, and I just was taking like stacks of plate. Like there was so much stuff, so I was just taking stacks of plates and just being like, ding, ding, into the like smash wall, just like frisbeeing plates, and I was like, ah. So
How
much
fun.
power. It was
Dude,
amazing.
where is that?
I was sweating so hard. It was in Brandon.
We gotta do that.
Yeah, it's not far away.
Yeah,
so
that sounds fun.
They're like brand new.
That would
over
have came
there,
in handy when I was a teacher.
Yeah. So
Well, I mean, you're a
Kids'
coach, so
plates.
just as good.
I know.
It's almost even worse with adults.
Okay, I have said that.
You're
yes.
like, you should know.
Like, you don't listen.
but that's
anyways,
awesome.
how was the rope climb?
I did,
That's fun.
which I'm now calling FPS.
Yep.
Nope. PFS.
PFS. Pump, flush, stretch.
Stretch.
Which is what it's been.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yep.
And I think we had a big group, and I think people are and I had a few people message me like, oh, this is cool. So I think that's how we're going to stick through it for a while. Where you get a little pump session in, you get a little flush on a machine in, and then stretch it out. But I did that. I needed it after those 4 days of
Yeah, that
workouts. But
was
man,
big.
there were some killer times on the rope climb workout.
What was it? Because
fun.
I
50 wall balls is a chipper.
that's right, it was
30 shoulder to overhead at 135.95, so like a
Yeah, like a
movable
movable.
weight, and then 10
10
rope
rope
climbs. Our ceilings are only 13 and a half feet, so you can really fly up those ropes if you want to. But what'd you get?
6.
Woo!
So she said, all I heard about
6.
it was you did the wall balls unbroken as your own personal choice, not because
I
you were
was not
racing
putting
anybody.
that.
And then
hurts way
what about
worse.
the shoulder overhead? How'd you do that?
No. I think I did 5 sets of 6.
Okay.
It might have been a little. I probably should have done
Conservative a
3
little?
sets of
Yeah.
10.
Yeah, Pete said he did like 10, 8, whatever that
7,
is.
whatever,
4.
yeah.
It was like he did 4 sets. KL did 10, 10, 10, 10, I think.
Yeah.
I was like, I probably should have done 10, 10, 10. Like,
She was low. She got like the 7s. Pete was in like the
yeah.
5s, wasn't he?
I think he, might have been, I don't know.
Yeah.
Low
I feel like
6.
I would have gotten there around the same time and then immediately just fallen off the
I think he
pace
said he
on
was
the ropes.
5:31, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's what he told me. Which is, I mean, that's moving. 6 minutes is moving. I mean, like unbroken wall balls is what? 2 minutes, 50, 90
I don't even
seconds.
know. I think I with the clock.
Yeah.
I was
Got to
like,
be
oh,
under
yeah.
2 minutes,
Yeah.
right? You can especially.
You can do
can do
150 and 5, so
Yeah, you can do 30
so
in a
it's under
minute.
that. Yeah, it's
So-
90
I
seconds.
remember looking at the clock to something, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and then the shoulder overhead, you probably broke them up on purpose like that, but still you're picking the bar up pretty quick. That means you're all in the rope climbs in around 3 minutes. Is that where you're
That
at?
sounded about right, yeah.
So 3 minutes.
'Cause,
to
I mean,
get-
And
the
then you
first
took you 3
part,
minutes
it
to do 10
wasn't-
rope climbs.
Yeah.
And then it took, that's what I'm saying. Like, I looked over, saw Pete, and was like, oh, he's going to do pretty good. Maybe KO will get him. And then before I knew it, he was resting on the air runner. I was like, is he done already? I was like, it was like 90 seconds. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
He said because the ropes are a little lower, he could just jump,
True, yeah.
tag, and like slide.
Yeah.
And he was like, I could do them pretty quick. And I was like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But
I cannot jump into a rope climb.
Yeah?
I can't make myself do it. There's a thought inside my head that I will just like jump and
Miss
then
it?
just not get anything and just like down, and I'm just like I
Oh.
refuse. So I just put my hands as far up as
Yeah.
I can and just like pull my legs up. I refuse to jump into a rope climb.
I've seen Sean Heenan at a competition jump and miss a rope.
Yeah, nope. I am not coordinated enough to do that,
yeah, I don't
to
know.
commit to that.
Yeah.
But I thought it was a cool workout, and it was cool to see like new people get on the rope for the first time or learn how to rope climb.
Leslie almost got his first. He was like super anti it, and I'm like, listen. So we went over a bunch of footholds, and he's like, I'm not doing this. I was like, yeah, you are. And he got so close to the top. I
Yeah.
was like, bro, he went from like doing something I don't know backwards with his feet, and I'm like, we need to stop that. And then he got almost all the way to the top. It
Hell
was
yeah.
so cool. The one time though, when you said jump, he committed to the jump and missed.
Oh,
and he looked
no.
over. I was like, I saw it.
Oh no, that's the worst.
But he got so good just from the one day.
Right.
And I was like,
Exactly.
I'm very glad you did that. Yeah.
I'm glad they're back. We haven't had them for a while, like we said last pod, but like I'm glad they're back because it's such a. There's nothing really like it. You can't
No.
really.
And it's like, I thought...
create it in
and
any other fashion.
I thought for the longest time, like, because I could rope climb before I could, like, do, like, a pull-up, right? Because, which makes sense. But people think it's, like, this really difficult skill, and I would consider it more like a moderate kind of skill where it's more of a figure out that foothold, and then you don't need that, quote-unquote, that much upper body strength to be able to do it if you're doing it correctly.
Right.
But it still like, builds that pull.
Exactly.
Because I could definitely do a bunch of rope climbs before I could do a single strict pull-up.
Well, I'll say as a community, like when we were doing a lot of rope climbs, I feel like our pulling was much better.
Yeah.
As a community. So, I mean, they'll be popping up. Like between the red line and regular class, I mean, you'll see them once a week or twice. Yeah. Pump, I guess you could put them in that. Like just like legless or like kind of things. But yeah, I'm glad they're back. Probably should get one more.
What's over there?
Four?
Yeah.
I think we should get maybe
one
more.
We had 5 before.
I had 16 people at 6:30, and it was a little crowded. But like everybody needs a little rest anyway, so it's like kind of going off one for one. But I think 5 would be good. Yeah. Cool. Anything else in the week going on before we kill the game?
Nothing.
How'd Saturday go? How'd today go?
Saturday's good. Partnered together. I was like, after, so it was a buy-in of a row and a run. So one person.
I thought it was one or the other.
Just like,
we pick, and then we did the other. And she's like, I was like, oh, duh.
Yeah. So one person runs, one person rows, one person rests, and you just kind of rotate through until you accumulate 2K row and 1,600 meter run. And then you went into 4 rounds of some like work in the middle. We got done with the first round of the work, and I was like, we're never gonna finish this.
Yeah,
but I think she was saying like
the buy-in made it feel worse.
Like that first round was so much longer. But some synchro toes bar, some burpees, the dumbbell or the D-ball squat clean ate my soul.
It's a gross movement. Yeah.
So
it's a gross movement. It really just pins you down. And
you have
to get it like so far behind. I'm aiming for my spine. You know what I mean? So it's like to get it far enough behind my head to where it's like I'm upright to squat. But
you guys got it in, right? You did the whole.
We did the whole thing.
Yeah,
once you got to like the third, like I think the first rounds felt
worse
because of that buy-in. You're like, I do it. Oh, I just have to do this part again. Yeah. So like, by the third round, I was like, this is great.
Okay. We were vibing. Yeah, it took us a while to find out that like rotation. The rotation's not perfect because the numbers with the 3 people. Somebody's doing a little more of something. Somebody's doing a little less of something.
I kind of like that though.
Yeah.
I kind of like making it where it's like you can't just have this.
It's like individual times
easy,
3.
Yeah.
Well, and it's like the first round and the third round. I think I ended up doing like 20. Out of the 25 toes bar, like I was on it for 20 of them, and I'm like, oh, that was a little bit too much. I'm gonna try and get out of that rotation. I'm like, I'm gonna leave Jess in there, and I'm like, so like we do 5. We jump down. I immediately walk away. I'm like, this is my signal. I am out. Like I'm not doing this.
I'm gonna go over there.
I was like, I'm out of this rotation.
Yeah, because somebody always does a double. So and that's what I was trying to say. Like when I gave everybody the time, they're like, all right, figure some stuff out. Literally no one did it. They just stood there. I'm like, you guys, okay.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. So much confusion.
I wasn't worried about the synchro itself. Me and Randy have synchroed a ton of toes to bar. I knew Jess was just gonna get up there and follow whatever happened with my feet because she's pretty in control of her limbs, so I wasn't worried about that. But it was more of just like, who's going where?
Exactly.
Who wants to do more of something? And then
at one point, we go to do our synchro toes to bar, and while 2 partners were doing the synchro toes to bar, another partner had to hold the sandbag, and we're like ready. We're like, where's Randy going?
and he's at the chalk bucket or something. He comes back. He's like, did you guys do any yet? And we're like, Randy, you have to pick up the bag.
He's like, oh shit.
And he's like, my bad, guys.
We're like, I love that.
Where's he going? She noticed him walk away. I have already jumped up. I'm now hanging on the bar.
Like, God damn it.
And I'm like, where's Jess? And Randy's over there. I don't know what was happening.
Yeah, you guys had good team chemistry compared to some of these other teams out there. So
we kind of got into a rhythm. I was like, all right, I know and then I started, because I did the dumbbell because I didn't want to hold a sandbag. And like it was because I used a 50, which I'm glad I did that, not the 35, because that would have been a joke. But the sandbag was so much grosser.
Longer, yeah. So I was like, let's just all be clear. I'm doing the least amount.
So I'm like, all right, I'll do an extra round. Yeah. This is fine.
I was like, I will commit to the sandbag, but I'm doing it as little as possible.
Yeah, that's fine.
And besides the fact, like, you don't want to have to hold a plank for the amount of time it's going to take me to do this sandbag.
Yeah, I think that was a good, like, if you can't dead hang, then hold a plank,
Yeah,
because
it was
everybody
good.
at the end of it was, that's so
Switching.
much dead hanging. So,
It was a lot.
but
And then I
cool.
think the burpees was a good addition
Yeah,
to give you a little, like,
break it up a little bit.
break it up and give a little rest to the hang and that kind of thing. So
Yeah, you would have just been under tension.
Yeah. The
like the whole time.
and then same buyout and just kind of like sold and tried to get done with it as quick as possible.
Yeah, the buyout went well.
Yeah.
I thought.
The
And it was
buyout
like
was
it's
easier
almost
for
like a
some
cool
reason.
down. You
Yeah,
know what I
Because
mean?
you're like, you're done. Like,
Right.
right. The workout's over. It's like a
Yeah.
chill little cool down place.
Oh, I wasn't chilling. I was
No?
sprinting. I was
It's like, I want this to
I
be
want
done.
it.
Yeah, Sean kept coming up to me. They have a wedding tonight, and he kept going, "I'm dying, dude. These weddings are killing me. These weddings are killing me." Because I guess they have so many friends getting married
Yeah.
still, so it's like they've just been going to weddings nonstop. So, but that was us like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Everybody, I feel like I had a wedding every other weekend, and I was like,
We had one. Whose weddings was it? Oh, I think it was like Courtney and Rob, and then George and Biba were like back to back, a Friday and a Saturday.
Yeah.
And you, like, I feel like you guys almost didn't even make it to the
yeah,
second one.
Biba's George and Biba's wedding. Sorry, George and Biba. We weren't our normal self at that. I think we literally left at like once ceremony. We got into like the reception, and we were like,
Done.
I can't drink again. I can't be fun. I'm not contributing to this party. In
Not adding any value. I'm only taking,
in
away.
any fashion. So, but good times. All right, team. Anything else? That's it.
Like quarterfinals? Is anybody?
Quarterfinals. We didn't sign up for our team, but
Coach Zane texted me this week
and said what?
and says, or text me and Lynn and says, "No offense, but am I just out of the loop, or what changed that y'all made quarterfinals?"
Fuck you, Zane.
He goes, "No offense, but what's the deal?" And I was like, "They dropped the standard from top
They
10
made
to
it
top 25."
They made it a little easier to get
And I was
in.
like, "No offense taken. I know my place. I've been in the same percentile for the past 4 years, so it's cool."
But still,
Where y'all made quarterfinals?
I think it's kind of cool though. Now that like it's happening, and you see how excited people are posting about it, and
Yeah,
like,
it's cool to make
I
it a
think
little bit more inclusive.
Yeah, cool that they're letting more people in. But
I'm-
at the same time,
I'm interested to see how hard the workouts
if
are.
these workouts are
because-
soul crushing,
Yeah.
and like the team wads are heavy and long and
Yeah.
like grueling, so it's like if the individual wads or anything like that, you're like, you just let all these people in just to
kill them.
just to not even
Yeah.
like be able to do the workout.
Well, because they were talking about how they're still kind of wishy-washy, but like very similar to the open as far as like movements go.
Right.
But like harder, like deadlift,
Heavier,
heavier.
yeah.
Dumbbell snatch, heavier.
Right.
More pushing than pulling this time, but like a lot of people were like just unimpressed with the team workouts, I guess, with like complexity or like high levels and high weights.
Right.
But
They were a little boring.
yeah, it's like the open part too. I mean, they opened it up. They're gonna have to.
Right.
I don't know. The individual ones though haven't been mirroring the team for the past couple of years.
Yeah,
No,
I think
they've
they're going to
been
be completely
So it's
different.
going to be a lot
But at the
different.
same
I don't think there's
time-
going to be rope climbs though, because I think what they're trying to do is make it so people can do it in class.
Right.
They almost have to. If you're going to let 25%
Right.
in, and some gyms have 30 friggin' people,
Right.
they're not all going to be able to go to open gym or like whatever. I think they're going to make it like floor plan's really easy. We're going to make this so you can do it in class, and it's not going to be so they can't do rope climbs or GHD because
Right.
they can't have 30 people
Yeah.
doing
Right.
or whatever. Yeah.
That or what was I gonna say? I don't even know. Moving on.
I think making it to where it's accessible to be able to do it in class is a good idea. I also think maybe it's like that accessible with no rope climbs for like the people that don't go to an affiliate, and now it's like
They got to worry about height of
Right,
people's gyms.
gyms and
Oh,
all
I was
that
going to
kind
say
of stuff.
about timing. Do you think the timing's going to be any different than it was in the previous year, where they all come out, but then like this one's due by this date?
They'll have
and this
the
one's due
windows, I
by-
think,
Yeah,
still,
the windows.
yeah.
I think they did that for the
They did it for teams.
Because
Yeah.
they did, okay. Because I just remember it being like,
like
for the
impossible.
people that were doing it was like a pain, because it was like these are due by Thursday, and you're like, that is the middle of the week.
You're like, I have a
CrossFit.
job.
Yeah,
Like-
I have a 9 to 5. I'm so sorry. Yeah, so it's like if you can't,
Yeah.
if you don't have a key to a gym,
Right.
you're not
Well, I
getting
mean,
it in.
because it was different last year. There was only top 10%, and like those people were more serious,
Right.
You know,
Right.
so they
Typically, yeah.
planned ahead. Like, hey,
Right.
this is when quarterfinals is. I'm going to
taking
have a
off
window.
work.
I got to take off of work.
Yeah.
Now it's like 25% of people probably aren't going to all take off of work. So I
No.
think they were trying to make it more accessible.
True.
I did enjoy no floor plans for the Open. That was nice.
Yeah.
It's just an added stress you don't need.
Yeah,
You know what
like,
I mean? It's like
taping, measure. It's just like,
Yeah.
fuck
Right.
I think
this.
the only one that was there was like 6 foot from the
thing for safety, yeah.
quote unquote safety. But I mean, it just keeps it fair too.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
people
think
aren't like
it'll
getting
be
off
good.
the rig and jumping into their barbell
Yeah.
like fucking idiots. Yeah.
I think it'll be. I'm excited to see what they are, just because I know they got to be better than the Open. I mean, I'm not trying to hate on the Open, but like,
It's got to be a little bit. They
gotta
got to
be a
have
little
some
bit
sort of
more
separate. 'Cause now
exciting. Yeah.
there's so many more people in it, and like what is it, 20 less spots for the individuals
Right.
to semis. So they gotta filter somehow. I mean,
and do you think we'll see wall walks, wall facing handstand push-ups,
Maybe.
crossovers?
they've had.
They had crossovers last year, right?
I really hope they don't do crossovers.
I
God.
have not been practicing, but you know,
I
I
really
don't
hope
care.
they don't do that. I know they'll lunge. I mean, they always
definitely
lunge.
lunge.
But they haven't-
probably
they didn't-
handstand walk. Like
Maybe in place lunges.
Oh, maybe.
I,
But-
I think they're trying to avoid the 25 feet thing until because at semis in person they can do
You can do
whatever
whatever
fucking
you
they
want,
yeah.
Even for age groups semifinals they can
That's
do
true.
whatever they want because
Yeah.
they're going to be doing it by themselves.
Right.
Right.
So I think they're going to try to avoid
anything that
Things
has like
like
a
that.
huge floor
Yeah.
plan. Yeah.
In the Open or in our division now, Masters, you.
I like that you're embracing it better.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I'm 35. Do you get out of this and then go to somewhere, or are you still in the gym,
So
right?
quarterfinals, they take the top 200 to then go to semis, which is also online.
All right, all right. And then from there,
And then the top 40 go to the games.
Okay. So there's still another stage after this if you make it into the
Yes.
top.
Same number of stages. It's
200
just they're
or
all
whatever.
both online. Yeah.
Yeah.
Heard. Cool.
Sweet.
All right, well, we're going to get out of here.
Let's do
I
it.
got to eat some food.
You're pregnant. Congratulations. Is it a boy or a girl?
Oh, I almost.
We'll let it go. We'll let it go.
Yeah. Orange.
All right. See you next week.
Bye.